Good evening, Doomers. I've decided to re-record my Dimensions Map 3 run with new commentary. Now, this run was originally the first video that I uploaded to my channel with commentary, and I didn't even have a microphone. I literally just recorded the audio with my phone and then moved it to my PC so I could edit it. Yeah, I took it down because of the Zach Siegel MIDI. Wanted to avoid a copyright strike, just being safe. Change it to this track by Sun-O. In my opinion, it fits much better. Anyway, about the fight. This first fight is very difficult, but it's probably one of my favorite fights ever in Doom. And that's because even though there's one enemy type, basically, aside from the pain elemental, you're forced to adapt to so many different situations. It's almost like something different happens every time you play this. And it makes the repetition much better to deal with. And we got out with pretty good health. So this is kind of something unique that I came up with to save some health for later. Gets to go to this platforming section first, and then do this with the health that I have, leaving the first fight with. And it's not that bad, really. I just have to avoid getting hit a bunch. As you can see, I'm almost dead already. Do that little jump, and then hide here. And we're basically waiting for the pain elemental to mosey on over. Then you can kill him. Try not to get hit. At this point, I'm extremely fragile. I could probably die to just one lost soul hit. I could have died there. Or there if I wasn't watching out. And then now, if you look over there in the distance, there's a BFG. We're gonna go there as soon as I kill this lost soul. And you need all the lost souls dead to go to the next part. I mean, you can go to it with lost souls alive, but they will most likely mess everything up. And this was a little adjustment that I made. Pretty sure, like, right before I got the winning run, is to pick up some shells from the box fight. And just in case things go really bad in the secret BFG fight, which I'm about to go to, you're gonna have some extra ammo to clean stuff up with. And this octagon looks very cool on the map. It's a shame that you can get an elastic collision and fall off. But I think it's neat. And you get the BFG. This is probably one of the prettiest rooms in the map. Very difficult. So for this, I wedged myself into this corner here. I want to make sure I'm perfectly wedged into this. I'm very anal about it. But reason being is so I can angle that BFG shot and then align my HUD with the texture on the floor so I can correctly aim my pistol shot to hit the shoot switch. Because if you're just one short 6 angle off from that, you can miss it and then completely waste a BFG shot. Unfortunately, not all the vials died. There's still one left. And I'm pretty much at the mercy of him for right now until I can snipe him off. As you can see right here, he even zaps me. Yeah, if one of them survives, you just basically need him to play nice. And then being careful with the imps. Reversing directions if I see I don't have a good path forward. And here it looks like the fight is basically won, but you can definitely still lose it. First thing is all these CAC demons on the outside. Sometimes when they infight with revenants, they can drift off and then block your movement. And then maybe you're forced to turn around and you didn't see a rocket or a bunch of revenant missiles coming your way. You can also just get stuck. Kind of sad when that happens. The Cyber got completely screwed over. I just have a couple Cacos left. This isn't that bad, thankfully. But we're gonna have to mop them up with SG. This is just whatever. pick up the shells before I leave. And here, very important, make sure you shoot this red torch off in the distance. And that will allow us to access the second secret of the map. Alright. And now we could have done this fight before we got the BFG, but getting the BFG is very important to doing this. You don't really want to do this fight without a BFG. And there's, I believe, 4 phases to this. This is the first phase. This first phase is all about saving health. As you can see, I try to sit on that imp teleporter for as long as possible and shoot a bunch of rockets. If you get too greedy, you can lose a bunch of health. Here, this was very unfortunate. I had good health, and then a Baron projectile pushed me into the Archvile's line of sight. This first phase is all about saving health. And saving rockets too, occasionally. Oh yeah, one thing I should mention, I'm killing all the Barons on, I guess, the right side of the red key. That's because there's going to be Archviles later, and you don't want to waste time killing Barons. Second phase, I'd say, is all about, like, very technical dodging. Because you've got Revenants who have 2 different types of attacks, and depending on which type of missile they shoot, you gotta adapt to that and change how you dodge. As you can see, I'm nearly dead. I got 1 stim pack left. This stim pack literally saves the run, you'll see. Alright, third phase. You get 2 Barons on that side, 2 Vials over here. Want to make sure you move and kill the Vials quickly so they don't res Barons. This is why we kill the Barons on the right side of the arena. This is also why we save some rockets. Yeah, that was sloppy. 5% health. I am nearly dead. It is a complete miracle that I even survived this. Yeah, that megasphere. So, that megasphere, I guess I should mention, this 4th phase you don't have to do if you don't get the BFG first. If you go to the secret fight and get the BFG, you have to do this. There's 2 cybers that spawn in on the ground, then 1 cyber that spawns in back here. Also the megasphere, I don't think you get that if you're doing this part of the map after the secret BFG. I know I have 140 cells, but I'm gonna super shotgun this cyber anyway. It's actually very important to save cells, and I do it for a purpose. Yeah, it is totally a miracle that I even survived this with 5%. Fill up on shells, jump out of here. And here, you see I have 140, I shoot before I hit that switch. Now I have 100, I pick up 2 cell packs, and I don't waste any cells. If you were to use cells any differently, when you pick up that stack, you'd be wasting ammo. And every shot counts for this. This fight is actually easier than it looks, although you don't want to make any mistakes because you'll probably die or lose all your health. And here, this is where I get the megasphere. This is the health that I saved by doing the platforming fight first. And if you happen to do that fight without taking hardly any damage, you can even save that megasphere too, but we needed it in this run. Time for the basement. So the basement works in 2 phases. Phase 1 is really simple. Enemies spawning in all 4 corners. And then eventually, 2 vials that spawn in, a pair in each corner. Now this is a taste of what's to come later. Kind of got screwed over there by taking those zaps. I would have had good health otherwise. This is the part where you're supposed to be yelling at me to pick up a megasphere. I don't, but what can I say? I got away with it. Sometimes you can make bad decisions and still live. The reason I was saving a mega is so I could pick up this one, the one opposite on the side where you drop down from. And I'll explain why that's the first mega you want to pick up. I have to restart the second phase. So 1 BFG shot, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we back up, shoot the middle, and then try to knock those 2 guys with your tracers. And that's why I pick up that mega first, it's because when you're going for that second set of vials, sometimes the revenants can close in on the path and you're forced to vacuum the mega. And now cybers spawn in. And here I took a rocket because I wasn't thinking about how the rocket behind me was traveling. It's whatever, I guess. And then here, accidentally pick up a mega. Thankfully, it doesn't make much of a difference. And this is why you want to be shooting the cybers during this fight. In moments like that where you need them to die, you have no choice but to WP and then hold fire in their face, hope that they die. Yeah, things get chaotic here. This is a very hard fight. I remember I used to have a lot more trouble with this, and then one day it just kind of clicked. Like I just got better at it somehow. Yeah, now things have calmed down quite a bit, although don't let this deceive you because you could still definitely die. Now these middle cybers are very dangerous. As you can see right here, sometimes they walk on the outside and will hit you with a surprise rocket. Sometimes they crowd up around the outside and then you're forced to turn around. You don't know what projectiles are coming towards you from behind. You might be a rocket. Very scary stuff. And even here, you can see just how crazy their movement is. I had no idea this guy was here. Thankfully, I knew. 733 is the magic number for this. And leaving the basement with 122 HP. We didn't get to save that mega from before, but this is still very good health. We don't need any of the med kits in here. Just picking up some rocket boxes. Pretty sure Derek was the one who discovered you can do this fight basically whenever in the map. Doing it after the basement is great because you get the full stack of cells. It's pretty much neutered this way. Although the pressure is very, very high once you get an attempt that survives the basement. Here, I almost got rocketed. Good thing I was watching out there. Yeah, I was so nervous here. Just completely a wreck. I don't know what I was doing there. I deserved to get shot. Just very sloppy dodging here. Now I'm wondering why he's not dead. He must have not infought very well. And here's a normal exit, shooting the torch. If you remember back from the first secret fight, while we were leaving that, actually raises part of this, and you can use it, and it's like a lift. And you'll see where it takes you. And now we're in the secret finale. Mr. Zool isn't done with you just yet. there's still 2 big fights left to do. This is the first one. I pre-fire some BSGs at the distance, let the Barons soak up all the tracers. This fight is so beautiful. Such a good fight, in my opinion. It's grindy, but it keeps you on your toes. This is not a place where you can play carelessly. And all these cacodemons, you'll see where these come in later. This is the most brutal ending to a map that you could, well, there's worse out there, but this is one of the most brutal endings to a map you can think of. Now here I'm trying to move in a square pattern to dodge these Barons, and when I'm making the turn in front of them, making sure I'm watching out for projectiles, just keeping track of anything. Now somehow, out of the hundreds of times I practiced this fight, this attempt, the winning attempt, was the best I have ever performed in this fight. The health I have right now is the health I finished this fight with. Absolutely nuts. I've never seen health this good here before. Now here, this is where the cacodemons come in. You're forced to dodge these cybers without even seeing their rockets. That's the main gimmick of this. You gotta keep a mental image of where their rockets are relative to where they're standing, the angle they're coming at, all that good stuff. Now here, I tried to do the cheese it, and Caligon doesn't his max run. Ironically, it doesn't work out, and I've actually made the fight harder for myself. Now, when I open these cybers, they can actually shoot me on the first frame that they see me. It makes it just that much harder. And here, I guess I'll shut up. Enjoy the gameplay. This is very intense, obviously. And now there's just a couple left. It's basically one. Just gotta kill these 2 and then get rid of the guy at the end. I'd say despite all the practice I did, all the hours I spent training on trying to beat this fight, instinct is the #1 thing that helped me get through that moment. And it's over. That's Dimensions Map 3. I spent about a year working on this run. Just under a year. I think that's the longest I spent working on any run. I took a long break in the middle, and then when I came back I did it in like 160 attempts or something crazy. I wouldn't do this again. Way too stressful. I don't think it's good for me to be constantly doing stressful demos. Yeah, I guess I'm happy with this. Time isn't too great, but what can I say, it's a completion. If you're hungry for something faster, or maybe you need a palate cleanser, go ahead and check out Kinetic's demo. He does the map in 11 minutes and 30 seconds or something crazy. He uses a different route. It's faster, but it's like exponentially harder. So that's it. Like I said, I want to get some old demos uploaded on this channel just for archival purposes. Hope you enjoyed. That's all I got. Thanks for watching.